What up, you quintessential quintuplets? It's Melder here, bringing you another Arknights beginner guide. In all my videos so far, we've talked about things like the store page, we've talked about building operators, squad composition, contingency contract, all that good stuff. But we haven't actually talked about the gameplay and combat itself. So today I'm going to be giving a few different combat tips to help you improve your gameplay, because I know a lot of people struggle with the core gameplay of this game, which is a tower defense game. The first combat tip is to use your practice plans. Now, I already talked about this in my beginner mistakes video, but I'll just mention it here again. You get 30 practice plans every single day, and it only costs 1 practice plan to do a regular stage and 3 to do a challenge mode. Now, even though I already mentioned this, guys, it's super important because you don't want to lose out on your sanity. Now, every time you fail a stage, you get 1 free full refund, and then every subsequent fail, you will lose 1 sanity. If you're practicing or doing challenge missions, then you will lose 50% sanity every time you fail. So if you don't want to lose sanity and you don't want to wait around for your sanity to refill, use your practice plans. The second combat tip is going to be look at the map. There is a map icon right here that you can go check it out. I see a lot of people, they just start the stage, they don't even look at it, and their team is extremely unprepared or not proper for the particular stage. Now, if you click on the map here, you can see exactly what you're going to be working with stage-wise. You can see, can I set up an Ifrit tile? Can I set up a Schwartz tile? Is there any drone spawning stations that I need anti-air snipers for? Are there a lot of range tiles that I can add casters and snipers to? Do I need a lot of defenders? Are there going to be tons of different blue boxes where I'm going to need high block count allies to kind of cover? And all of these things will help you complete the stage and gain more information so you can craft a proper team comp for the job. But just looking at the map doesn't give all of the information you're going to need. The map definitely helps, but you don't know what enemies are actually going to spawn and where they're going to path. So if you tried a stage already, whether it be practice or regular, you will gain access to enemy intelligence. Beforehand, it'll just be all blank and hidden, but if you've given it a try, you'll get this information. So we'll click on enemy intelligence, and you can click on each of the enemies spawned here, and it will show some of their stats as well as different special abilities that they have. So this Sarkaz caster leader does not attack, but casts arts periodically, doing an AoE attack, and then when it comes in contact with a pulse wave, this unit instead takes no damage and it gains increased attack range. So learning the mechanics of the enemies you're fighting is extremely important. This enemy in particular is actually crazy strong. Once you get to these later stages, you'll come to find that out the hard way. But not only looking at the map, but also the enemy intelligence is really important. So prepare for the stage accordingly. The third combat tip is going to be to read the stage description. Now, not every single stage is going to have important information in the description, but I would say most of them do, especially if they have important mechanics that you need to learn. So for BH7 rather, you get the gramophone. It is a pillar that does arts damage to enemies and heals your allies. And if we look at the stage right here, these are the gramophones, and you absolutely want to take control of these because they do like all the work for you for this stage. Now, the way to get them is to stand on the lightning bolts or have a unit on them. You can also use things like traps, like Robin traps, and summons as well. So those characters are really good for these stages. But just check the stage description. You can see like roadblocks right here, originium tiles that buff enemies or allies depending on the stage. And you want to check out these stage descriptions because they give a lot of information before we even start playing the game. The next combat tip is all about placement order. Now, if you guys don't know about placement order, basically what it means is in Arknights, enemies will always attack the last unit placed down unless they are not within range or they have a unique targeting mechanic surrounding them. So it's important that you place your squishy units first and you place your tankier units last. That's really a good general way to think about it. If you want an example, I like to put my vanguards down first because they gain DP so I can put the rest of my team out. Then I'll put a ranged DPS like a sniper or a caster, followed up by guards. And lastly, I try to put in defenders. So really depending on the stage, I will put characters down at different times. But for the most part, you want to put your tankier units down last so they tank all of the aggro, especially the ranged aggro. So in the example that I'm showing here, I put down beeswax at the top because the mortar enemies on this stage hit like a freaking train. So it's really important that I don't let them do splash damage to my DPS units. I put beeswax up top so she can take aggro and really shrug off all that damage with her strong passive regen and her extremely tanky stats when she's not attacking. The next tip is to retreat your operators instead of letting them die when using them in combat. Now, the reason why this is so good is because you can gain refunds on DP when you retreat. You cannot do it when they die. So if you get 50% rounding down when you retreat a character instead of letting them die, and then when they are a DP on kill vanguard like bagpipe or reed, then you actually get the full refund of cost points back to you. So if you really want to make sure you are efficient with your cost points and you have enough DP to let other units come in and fill their shoes, you will retreat them and not let them die. The next combat tip is going to be about skill ranges. Now, a lot of you guys might not know even how to see skill ranges, so that's what I'm going to show you right now. So we're going to put down our DP generation first, so I can show you a bunch of different examples of skill ranges. Now, it's really important that you know your character's skill ranges so you can kind of form your positioning around that. So we have Gummy here. If we click on this box on the right, we can actually see the range that she can heal other allies. We'll do the same with Saria because she is another healing defender, so you can kind of see the difference between them. Now, this is Saria's basic attack range. You don't need to point her in any different direction, but if you click on the box, you can see how absolutely gigantic her healing range is. Okay, we're going to put in Schwartz now. Schwartz is a close range sniper. If you've seen these sniper guides, I'm going to be talking about her pretty soon. So she is a 3x3 attack range. And if we click on her skill, it's a 4 long range in a straight line ahead of her. So she changes up her range pretty drastically on skill activation. I think Angelina is a pretty good example as well because her range is a 3x4. But it expands dramatically when she activates her skill, making this really large pyramid. Let's go to a melee character like Chen. Chen, she is a 1 range ahead of her melee dual strike guard. When she activates her skill 3, she'll be hitting in this gigantic square or diamond around her. And then the last character I want to show is Fiala. Fiala on her skill 3 activation. She's a regular ST caster, so she has the 3x3 with the 1 in the front. But when she activates and goes volcano mode, she has this absolutely gigantic diamond around her where she's hitting 5 enemies at the 5 enemies with her arts attack. I'll do one more just because a lot of free-to-play players are going to have this character. And I want to show off her skill 2. It's a 3x3 like all AoE casters, but when she has her skill 2 up, she's actually going to increase her range by 3 tiles ahead of her. So here are a bunch of different examples on skill ranges. Make sure you guys check your skill ranges so you know just how far you can place characters away from each other, or if you really want a character to hit multiple lanes, it's a really good way to do that. And definitely take advantage of your skill ranges because you can set up some really awesome strategies just based on those alone. So we've already talked about the map in the pregame. Now let's talk about the map mechanics and using them to our advantage during the stage. So as you can see right here, we have roadblocks and originium tiles. Those tiles in the middle that are glowing red, those tiles do damage over time to enemies, but they also buff them. So what we're doing is we're placing roadblocks so they have to walk over both tiles and will continuously take damage. Now this stage 4-4 can be pretty difficult, but it is trivialized immensely by the roadblock placement. Try to be creative with this stuff, try to see and scope out what the map has to offer, whether it be things like these tiles, roadblocks, trees that can give you additional range tiles. There are pitfalls and holes that you can push enemies into and instantly kill them, including some bosses. And there are other tiles that buff things as well. So definitely be on the lookout. I didn't name every single mechanic, but definitely check them out and take advantage of them. So the last thing I want to talk about is this lovely resource online. It is map.arknights.com. It is a stage planner website. So we're going to go into the map. I know this isn't a lot of it is in a different language. Just try to bear with it. I know it can be hard to read for some of my English speakers or whatever, English readers. But we're going to go to, I think these are the Annihilation ones. Yes, they are. We're going to go to view map and we're going to check out. This is exactly how the website works. You're presented with the map, with the range and ground tiles. And this is a great way to theory craft different stages and clear them. I use this resource all the time to help out people in my Discord who might need help with a strategy. For example, this is Annihilation 3. So very awesome and useful resource, especially when you don't want to have to log into people's accounts and maybe handhold for them, or exchange a ton of different screenshots from in-game. You can use this website here. Now, if you wanted to add characters to this layout, you could do this. I'll add Thorns here because Thorns is pretty solid on the stage. So I'll add Thorns. We'll put him facing down. We'll add Surtur. I have Surtur on S2 right now, but obviously S3 is really strong. We can put Mei. We'll put Exu, Shiryuki, Warfarin, Silver Ash, Gummy, Perfumer, and that's basically a really proper Annihilation 3 strategy. And I could just screenshot this and put it in the Discord to show people. Definitely check out this resource. The link will be in the description, like I said. And this is a great way to visualize a strategy or plan out a strategy even before you start playing the game so you don't waste any sanity. Okay, that does it for my combat tips video. Hopefully this was helpful to any of you. I know that this game can be very confusing and the combat can actually be quite difficult. So definitely follow some of these tips. Obviously, there's more that I missed, but if you have any questions, you can definitely ask them in my Discord or in the YouTube comment section down below. I'll have the link to the Discord and my Twitch stream in the description, so definitely check those out. I would love to talk to you there and have you. So once again, have a nice day and peace out.